Alright folks, it's that time of year again. If you're like us, you're excited to start riding your motorcycle for the 2025 riding season. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the top 10 best motorcycle rides from across the country for the year 2025. And in case you're wondering how we come up with a list like this, we say, hey, if you're willing to travel halfway across the country just to ride a particularly great motorcycle road, then that should qualify it for the list. And this year for 2025, we'll cover some hidden gem roads that you may not see on a typical top 10 list, but are still incredible roads to take by motorcycle. And we'll also highlight a few well-known motorcycle roads, including the most popular ride in the world, the Dragon's Tail at Deals Gap. Is the most hyped up motorcycle road still worth riding in 2025? Well, stay tuned and find out. And for all the work that's put into the video, the only thing we're going to ask of you in return is to hit that like button for us. It really helps out the channel, and don't forget to subscribe either. And all the roads we're going to be talking about here can be found on our website, greatmotorcycleroads.com. where we have route descriptions, and best of all, we offer free links to the direct Google Maps routes. And if you're looking for some bonus features to help you plan your motorcycle rides in 2025, join us over at Patreon. There we have additional motorcycle routes for every state that are not included on our public website. We have GPX files you can download for every route, and bonus exclusive videos. Your support really helps us keep the lights on at Great Motorcycle Roads and here on our YouTube channel. Alright, first up is the Kings Canyon Scenic Byway in California. The Kings Canyon Scenic Byway is a 50-mile hidden gem scenic motorcycle route that winds through the Sierra Nevada foothills and into Kings Canyon National Park. The byway begins at the ranger station on Route 180 on Kings Canyon Road. The motorcycle ride through Kings Canyon is a hidden gem because it's one of the lesser known and less visited national parks in the United States, and it's actually the deepest canyon in the US. That's right, it's even deeper than the Grand Canyon. Along the way, you'll be riding along breathtaking vistas, soaring granite cliffs, and enjoy amazing panoramas, all while taking on the fun curves. And as with most national parks, the road quality is beautifully smooth and well maintained, which always adds to the motorcycle riding enjoyment. You'll also have the chance to check out the second largest tree in the world, General Grant, which stands at 267 feet tall. The route eventually descends into the Sequoia National Forest. The round-trip ride will take about 2 to 3 hours, but plan for a full day ride to allow for stopping at one of the many pullouts and admire the stunning views. For extended motorcycle touring, you can continue on to General's Highway, which connects Sequoia National Park and Kings Canyon National Park. General's Highway loops and curves with hairpin turns overlooking vast mountain vistas and enters the National Park Forest, where you'll ride alongside some of the biggest trees on Earth. And keep in mind the best time to ride Kings Canyon is in spring, summer, or autumn, as the road into the canyon is closed in the winter. Next up is Arkansas Highway 7. The route we've included here is 156 miles in length. The Scenic Byway 7 in Arkansas is a gateway into the heart of the Ozarks, and is Arkansas's first state-designated scenic byway. Highway 7 will give you the opportunity to travel through 4 of the state's varied geographical regions. Highway 7 traverses almost the entire state from north to south, but the best section to motorcycle takes you from Harrison to Hot Springs, Arkansas. Highway 7 is considered by many to be one of the most scenic rides in the eastern half United States. Motorcycle riders will travel along rolling terrain with dense pine forests, deep canyons, and broad vistas. The northern section ascends into the Ozark Mountains. It's famous for fall foliage and the Ozark National Forest. But there's plenty of turns and elevations on Scenic Byway 7, with hills and valleys to keep you smiling on this beautiful ride. And be sure to stop to enjoy the view from Arkansas's Grand Canyon. And in the distance from here, you'll see the Boston Mountains. And while there's so many awesome motorcycle rides in this part of the state, there's a few reasons why we'd put Byway 7 on the top 10 list. Number 1 is the diversity of the roadways. There's some really remote areas with very little traffic, and it's less popular than the Pig Trail. Number 2, in general, the quality of the road surface is great, and it has good surfaces for corners. And number 3 is just the extensive number of curves. While it doesn't have the crazy switchbacks and hairpins some of the other nearby roads have, Byway 7 does have its fair share of enjoyable curves with significant elevation changes. And in some sections, it's a constant slow dance from one curve to the next. Let us know in the comments below what your favorite route is in the Ozarks. But we'd argue Scenic Byway 7 is one of the best you can ride in the state. Next up is the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. This is about 28 miles in length. This North Dakota motorcycle ride is a scenic loop that travels through the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. It's about 4.5 hours from the Black Hills region of South Dakota, but it's only an hour and a half north of the South Dakota state line. It's an exceptional motorcycle ride through the park with sweepers and grade changes, as well as a few tight corners. But as with most national parks in the United States, the road is extremely well maintained, making for a smooth ride as you take in the national park views. The Theodore Roosevelt National Park was named after one of the most revered and beloved U.S. presidents of all time. What made this guy so great was the fact that he really spearheaded the national park movement, which allows for us motorcycle riders to enjoy traveling through the most natural, untouched beauty in America. Well done, sir. The Theodore Roosevelt National Park offers stark yet stunning rock formations that creates an astonishing landscape to motorcycle through. The scenery changes constantly in relationship to the seasons. The brown dormant grass dominates through the late summer and fall, while the early summer offers vibrant green color, along with hundreds of species of plants. Because of its remoteness, it's common to get close-up encounters with roaming bison and even wild horses in the park. And if you're looking to stay inside the park, there are 3 campgrounds to choose from. The Theodore Roosevelt National Park is a must-ride for any motorcyclist looking for sweeping curves and stunning scenery. Enjoy the panorama of painted canyons as you ride among the best of the western North Dakota Badlands. And just a quick station break, today's video is being sponsored by our friends over at Insta360. Are you looking for a unique way to capture your rides while you're out traveling on some of these great motorcycle roads? Perhaps you've seen this kind of 360-degree footage on YouTube, where it feels like the camera is moving all by itself, capturing everything in front and behind the motorcycle rider. Well, I'm here to tell you there's only one camera in the world that does it quite like this, and that's the Insta360 X4. The X4 features 2 cameras, one in front and back. They both capture a 180-degree field of view, which is later stitched together on playback. So while it's recording, it's capturing everything in front and behind, and then putting it all together in between. And with the Insta360 phone app, you can choose what angles you want to show as well as the frame size. And it can all be easily done after you've got all your riding footage. And the all-new X4 enables you to record in an amazing 8K, which is 78% more pixels than 5.7K. If you're looking for the style of camera that gets everything around you on your motorcycle rides, check out the link in the description for a discounted promo code and start recording your rides with the Insta360 X4. Thanks to Insta360 for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to the routes. Alright, next up is the Dragon at Deals Gap. This is 11 miles in length. We've left this road off the top 10 list for the past couple years, but it's time to reconsider just how unique this road is. Renowned for being a uniquely twisty and roller coaster-like motorcycle ride, Tennessee's Dragon actually begins in North Carolina and carves deeper into Tennessee as you go. Surrounded by the Great Smoky Mountains and the Cherokee National Forest, this infamous American motorcycle route boasts a whopping 318 curves in just 11 miles. This stretch of US 129 is a beautiful piece of road, perfectly engineered in banking, immaculately paved, and it combines an enjoyable rhythm of tight turns. Really, the appeal of this adventure is actually just riding it. And the tight turns can provide an ample challenge to all levels of skill. There are no intersecting roads or driveways on the Dragon at Deals Gap. However, the sheer popularity of this road means there will almost always be riders and sports car enthusiasts in front of you and behind you. There are occasional events and rallies on this road too, so check before you go to make sure the traffic isn't going to be too intense. Many of the events take place in April. So with all that said, the question you may be asking yourself is the Tail of the Dragon worth it in 2025? Well, here are 4 reasons why the Dragon is still worth a visit if you've never tried it. Number 1 is the excitement of the ride. This road is well known for its tight turns and high speeds. If you're looking for an 11-mile adrenaline rush, this may be just the road for you. Number 2 is the photo opportunities. If you've never had a professional photographer take a world-class shot of you navigating a turn, the Tail of the Dragon has photographers stationed along the road, which you can later purchase, then hang the picture up in your office as a reminder that you've taken on one of the most talked about motorcycle roads in the world. Number 3 is the other roads near Deals Gap. If you've traveled from afar to get to the Tail of the Dragon, there's some amazing motorcycle roads nearby, including the Cherohala Skyway, the Moonshiner 28, and the Hidden Gem Waya Road. And number 4 is the bucket list factor. One of the most common questions in motorcycle groups and gatherings is if you've ever done the Tail of the Dragon. And even though it's only 11 miles in length, don't forget you can ride it back and forth a few times, getting more familiar with the curves and riding it with more confidence each time. Just be sure to keep your focus on the road, Because while the Dragon's Tail is indeed a bucket list road, you just don't want it to be the reason why you kick the bucket. So ride this one carefully and live to ride another day. Up next is the Chief Joseph Highway. This lesser-known motorcycle ride is along Wyoming Route 296. The Chief Joseph Highway is smooth and has long sweeping turns that climb up and down some of the most beautiful mountain passes Wyoming has to offer. The 47-mile portion of 296 that's known as the Chief Joseph Highway is an especially scenic byway through the Rocky Mountains. You can start in Cody and head northwest where it meets with the Beartooth Highway. The Chief Joseph Byway passes through national forest lands for almost its entire length. One of the best scenic highlights is the bridge crossing high above the Clark's Fork Yellowstone River. And while the byway is not one of those high elevation rides, it does cross Dead Indian Pass, which has an elevation of over 8,000 feet. As you ride your motorcycle here, you'll have panoramic views around sharp mountain bends. And just keep in mind that as quick as the scenery changes, the weather is just as temperamental. The most ideal times for motorcyclists to ride this route are during the summer and fall. And as we mentioned, this road connects to the absolutely fantastic Beartooth Highway. If you connect these two routes, you'll be riding in some of the most astounding scenery America has to offer. The Chief Joseph Byway is a great option for those who want to try one of the most underrated motorcycle rides in the country. So that's our list for part 1 of our series of the best motorcycle roads in America for 2025. Be on the lookout for part 2 where we round up the top 5 in the country. If you found this video helpful at all, hit that like button for us. It really helps out the channel. And don't forget to subscribe either. We've got more videos on the best motorcycle rides in other states, and our plan is to eventually get to all of them. So be sure to check those out. And don't forget, all these roads can be found on our website, greatmotorcycleroads.com. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.